scene. I am at Frank 5D, and the interview series won't stop. This time we got a hip hop purist, one who is constantly exceeding expectations. When you listen to this dude, you come for the flow and stay for the bars. The energy is just on point. He's trying to be to San Antonio what Nip was to Bryanhurst. People, we have San Antonio's own Intre. What up?
Yo, what's going down, my people? How's everybody?
Chilling out, chilling out. How you feeling, sir?
Man, I'm chilling, my brother, enjoying life. You already know what it is. How you
That's
doing?
what's up. Same. Let's jump right into it. Tell us about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I go by the name Entry. I was originally born in Los Angeles, but San Antonio became my home. Been here for well over 15 years now. Grew up here, and this became hometown. I've been doing hip hop since the age of 8 years old. Just all about the bars, man. Mainly had influences from like Nas, you know, fucking Tupac, Big Pun, Big L, Beanie Siegel. Those are the type of people that, I'm saying, kind of curated my sound to this day.
That's what's up, man. So you said since 8 years old, what made you fall in love with hip hop?
Man, so you're going to trip out. I couldn't even speak English till I was 8. So, like, listening to, like, hip-hop, using that rhythm kind of helped me all across the board from, like, a language barrier to understanding, like, educational things. So, yeah, it's kind of wild how hip-hop was really the gift that allowed me to speak English.
That's what's up. That's tight. I haven't heard that story before. Um, this culture, it attracts us in so many ways, and it's a beautiful thing when it calls you. When did you hear the call, and what made you want to get involved?
No, absolutely. So, me and my mom's growing up, man, I used to ride the bus. So I just happened to find this. It was like a pamphlet full of CDs. Back in the day, they used to carry CDs and shit.
Mhm.
So this shit was called the Bible. So I opened it up and it had a bunch of different tapes on there. It had like Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles. It had Nas, Illmatic, a couple of Mobb Deep records, and I would just study them shits. And honestly, I would just not only like kind of emulate Nas but I would like low key rap battle him over his own records, and then that's how I kind of, that's how I developed into that, man.
That's a dope entry into hip hop. How'd you get the name Entry?
Yeah, so it's short for Entriago. Can't nobody pronounce that, so everybody just calls me Entry.
I can,
There you go.
Entry. That's a dope
Absolutely.
name too.
You'd be
Um,
surprised, man. I'd be getting entry Ugo, Entriego. You man, I be
Intrigo,
getting all kinds.
Intrigo. That's dope. I got it. I got it as soon as I seen it. Break down the hip hop scene in San Antonio.
Man, so I know in San Antonio it's unique because we're really all about like the hip hop, the wordplay, the lyricism. Even people that do like the more modern sound, you could ask them, they're really with the bars. I know in Houston they got their own sound over there that they've curated over, decades. Dallas got the more kind of like up tempo dancing type of sound, but San Antonio's really just known for high level lyricism. And I'd like to say, I'm one of the people that's pushing that further than it ever has gone.
Absolutely, I can see how you fit right into that puzzle. Yeah, I can see the exact piece that you shape and fit right into that lyricism scene. And just like you said, just like in San Antonio, they got their own swang. Did I say? Tell me about the Urban Regime Collective.
Yeah, man. So the regime, man, I started that back in, I want to say when I was 16. I'm 34 years old now, so it's been almost 20 years. And really, the whole purpose of it is kind of like making the unified force for lyricism. And the people who identify are supporters of me consist of making that regime. We do have some original members that don't do hip hop, but they're just kind of do the footwork when it comes to a lot of the movement, the promoting, and the shows we throw, right? We do the shit called Lyricist Lounge down here, where I'm actually having part 2 coming up this year. I know part 1 we had Doe Man from Houston come down. He's a spitter, he's a lyricist, so it made sense. And it was a dope event, man. Really just putting on for that hardcore bar shit. You know what I'm saying? I know in this next one I got a couple candidates from New York actually that I'm probably gonna fly down here and get to perform and shit.
Tight. Can't wait to see it. I've been to San Antonio. you know, it was a great place.
Yeah.
I got to go to this pageant at the Alamo. It was like the whole reenactment, like the whole celebration, you know, and they had the people in the full outfits and the cannons are bursting and stuff. And
God damn.
for real, it was tight. And we stayed in the Emily Morgan right across the street.
Okay. Yeah.
Freaking up.
No,
Place.
absolutely. How long ago was that, man? It's been a while.
Oh yeah, maybe like 10 years ago or something like that now. 10,
Okay.
maybe 9, 10 years ago. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I would have rather stayed in the Alamo, slept on the floor. Nah, I'm just kidding.
There you
You know,
go.
Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier and stuff. So
Right, right.
uh,
There's a lot of history in the city, and I know a lot of artists don't really make their way downtown. They usually, stay in their pocket of the city. So next time you do come out here, you got to make it a point to link with me, man. I show you the right way and really what the tone's about.
that's what I'm talking about, Intre. Yeah, I wanted to see some San Antonio graph. Like I don't remember getting to it all.
Right.
My bad about that.
No, no, no. You
Um,
good,
is it a big graph or b-boy scene out there?
man? Absolutely, bro. There's a lot of graffiti crews down here. San Antonio is one of these type of cities that there's a little bit of everything. You just got to know where to find it. You know,
Mm,
you could find literally anything you want, but you just got to know where to look. So next time you come down here, I definitely put you on game with all the dope spots you need to go to get laced up properly.
that's what I'm talking about. So okay, here we go. Let's get real here. Where would hip hop have started if it didn't start in New York?
I mean, a lot of people are gonna say Los Angeles. I really feel like LA would make a lot of sense, but New York is the mecca for a reason, man. And I feel like LA is a good candidate for that, because there's similarities and parallels when it comes to kind of the culture. You know, eventually there would have been someone to kind of put the pieces together and voiced it. It might have sounded different, but it would have still been the voice of the same struggle. And what I feel is unique about that is I feel like hip hop's been around way longer than we could imagine before we even called it hip hop. You
Mm-hmm.
know, going back to Africa, going back to the indigenous people that they had their own way of kind of translating their pain. It's the same concept, just a different name. So in this era, I would feel hip hop is identified that the way we do it.
That's what's up. Good answer, yo. I really don't know. I want to say somewhere close to New York, like I don't know, New Jersey or
Mhm.
Philly, or I don't know, something like that. But just like you said, I totally agree with the answer. So you had some controversy.
Mhm.
Why did you declare war on Governor Greg Abbott at South by Southwest?
Did I declare war on Governor Greg Abbott?
Yeah, why? Why'd you do that?
I mean, I don't believe I really declared war on him.
Oh
Um,
no,
no, no, I don't believe I
oh, damn.
did.
Um,
But what I will say is this: there's a lot of there's a lot of wildfire going on with the politics of Texas, right? As we know, like the southern border is on fire right now. They got
mhm.
the whole National Guard, and you got people coming in from all over the states just to front line that shit. So I feel like there's a lot of people, because I lived in Mexico too, right? So I know, and I've traveled in Central America and stuff like that. I know that third world type of poor, and it's a level of despair out there that a lot of people don't know, right? And they're unaffected by it, so they don't really give a fuck, right? And those people, they come over here thinking, they think this is the land of milk and honey. Everything is just opportunities. Everything is sweet, and in some cases, some are fortunate enough to experience a good life out here. But when they get here, it's not what they expected. It's a lot safer from where they come from, but there's a lot of disappointment that comes with that. And I feel like, yeah, we should take on some immigrants, but there has to be a due process, because we can't spread ourselves so thin to where we can't even provide for our own people as Americans. So Greg Abbott, I don't really get too much into the politics of that shit. But what I will say is there has to be a due process, and I'm all for welcoming people, and it just has to go about it the right way, really.
Man, that's is crazy. You say you don't get too political. I think it was just last year when you led the rally to secede Texas from the U.S. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But how was South by for you this year?
Man, it was good, bro. Showed up there pretty deep with a couple of the homies. Shout out to Ant Fish. Shout out to the Cheap Suits podcast. And we basically went up there, represented, got to perform in front of like Static and Selecta, Kid, a bunch of like New York heads from upstate New York, and definitely made a lot of connections, man. I think I got some production from. I'm gonna be getting some production from Static Selecta here soon.
Tight.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
word,
Shout out to Shout out to Static. Um,
absolutely,
so you born in L.A. and
right.
you raised deep in the heart of Texas, where
Mm-hmm.
the stars at night are big and bright. Um, but your style obviously comes from a different place. Tell me more about how I knew I was right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I'm from West LA. I'm from Inglewood to get very specific.
Straight
And
up and down, man. Me and you both. Inglewood, California, city
in
of
a
champions.
real way.
I should
shout
have
out,
worn
shout
my
out to
other
Inglewood.
sweater, man. Hey, it says champion right here. What's
Let's
up?
go.
Keep going.
Let's go. The city of champions for those that aren't familiar, right?
Right.
But what I will say, yeah, no, I've just felt more connected to the East Coast sound. Of course, I have respect for the West Coast to the max. There's a lot of amazing spitters that come from California, but I feel like I connected more with like Nas and that grimy Mob Deep sound, that Beanie Siegel type, even the old school D Block, Big L, Tragedy Gaddafi. I mean, Poor Righteous Teachers. We could go on and on and on, right?
Keep going. Keep up to years.
Absolutely. So these are the people that really kind of sparked the fire from my shit, and I feel like the multi syllables, the big puns, all that's how I get my shit off best when it comes to lyricism and just wordplay.
Yeah, man, I identify with that a whole lot. You and me both. Born and raised in California, always gravitated towards the East Coast sound since I first fell in love with hip hop when my sister was playing Me, Myself, and I.
Right.
I knew about the records before that, but just when I heard her playing that, like, and my brother said something about it, I just knew right there, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what hip hop is, like.
Exactly.
Speaking of Big Pun, man, you bodied that just rap freestyle over the pun beat, yo.
Oh
Straight up.
yeah, no, absolutely. And shout out to Mozzie's World. Shout out to OCD Creates.
Mhm.
They are a part of kind of the culture I'm telling you about, where they're putting together lyricists out here in San Antonio and pushing it to the limits. It was an honor to rap on that pun beat, man.
Yeah.
I always hesitate, think twice before I touch the classics, but in this case, I had to do it right.
And you did. That's what I'm talking about. I've heard you experiment and use different styles over the past few years, and it shows a real stylistic range. Give me your top five.
Man, my top five. It's kind of unique, actually. It's Zach. It's Nas. Then it's Tupac. Then it's Zach De La Rocha. Then it's Big Pun. And then I have to either say number five is a toss up between Big L and Stack Bundles. Big L for the
Wow.
lyricism, Stack Bundles stylistically.
Straight up and down.
Right,
I was in Brooklyn when Stack died. Um, really in a t-shirt printing shop, and it was my first time out there.
right.
And dude busted in and gave the news, and I had barely just started knowing who he was. I was like, damn, now I'm gonna get to know that. Great top five, yo. I wouldn't have expected at all to hear Zach in there. That is pretty eclectic. What producers are you fond of?
Man, I love A-Rap music. I love V Don, Harry Fraud, of course, Static Selector, Alchemist, Premier. Definitely Primo.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Straight
absolutely,
up and down, man. I love to hear it. That's like I said in the intro, hip hop purist. You're one of those guys. Thanks for being in that category.
absolutely.
Tell me how much is the Latin and the hip hop scene bleeding into each other in and around San Antonio?
Man, it's a unique mix. Me myself, I'm mixed, right? My mother's Mexican, my dad's Jamaican and Italian, and I'm kind of like a hybrid, right? But when I see a lot of like pure Hispanics, and the culture of hip hop, it's a unique mix. I know it's like oil and water when it comes to California and Texas with the Hispanic culture of rap, right? Um, Perfect example. Look at California. You got Lefty Gunplay making a lot of noise, and then you got someone like Mexican OT out here making a lot of noise as well. And those two couldn't be more different when it comes
Right.
to their stances, their politics, and all of that. So yeah, no, Hispanics they make a lot of good music out here, and I'm definitely a supporter in both California and Texas. I fuck with both.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
I grew up on Pocos Pero Locos, and
there you go.
all those things. But I like I'm well rounded. I like the banda, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't name you one act, but I like it whenever I hear it, and maybe it was a band them away, band them away.
Yeah,
I, I like them. They be getting lit. They be
there you
live
go.
for real.
Absolutely, at the parties that be the best.
Hell
Another
yeah.
another thing I will say, since we're speaking on that, I think the Hispanic influence and the Latino influence in hip hop is imperative from the East Coast to the West Coast, man. I mean, on the West Coast, you got DJ Muggs. Even to get a little more Hispanic, you got Lighter Shade of Brown, Delinquent Habits. Um, and on the East Coast, you got people like the Beat Nuts, Terror Squad, Fat Joe, even more current like UFO Fev and Spanish Ran. These are all dope ass MCs, and they all contributed some solid work. I'm looking to do the same.
Can't straight up and down. Can't ever say that they're guests in hip hop.
Right. Facts.
Um, I promise you that I wouldn't ask you this, but I've got to inform the people, Entry. Why do you hate Megan Thee Stallion?
Why do I hate Megan Thee Stallion? I do not hate Megan Thee Stallion, man.
For
She's
real? No,
I do not. How could I hate her? She was born in San Antonio,
man.
and
A lot of people don't know that. They just know her about Houston, man. I wait a minute. Didn't you say that she looked like Jeffrey from Toys R Us? Jeffrey the Giraffe? And
hell no, hell
I
no.
need to fire my intern, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
your
don't know what's
information
going
is
on
skewed
there.
right now. Now Megan is a bad bitch, man. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? That's hey, shout out to her, man. She's a spitter, a bad bitch, and she's doing her thing, man. Salute to Megan.
She got a lot of flack for that whole, for her legal troubles, but I
Right.
still love Megan. Going from that last conversation, what is on your playlist?
On my playlist,
Mm-hmm.
man, you'd be surprised, bro. It's more. I'm a hip hop purist, but I pull from different genres, man. I listen to
Got a
fuck.
lot in common, Entry.
I listen to hardcore grunge. I listen to death metal. I be going to like rock concerts, checking out the mosh pit energy. That's why probably my shit's so high energy.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a balance. I listen to dream pop too. I listen to, like Beach House and Tame Impala and shit like that. And of course, I listen to old school like Spanish music, and I listen to lowrider music as well, like The Sacred Souls and a couple other people like that. I really, it's all about the balance, man.
Very nice. I also love to ask artists this. Do you have a physical music collection, and if so, what is it? What you got?
Yeah, I got a couple of vinyls. I don't want to say I have like an extensive collection, but of course I got like the original Shine album. I got The Godfather on vinyl. I got Nipsey Hussle The Marathon on vinyl,
Right.
um, as well as a couple other joints from Nipsey as well. Like I was real big on Nipsey, bro. I feel like you could almost say he was like the Tupac of his generation type shit,
Mm.
and yeah, bro. I have actually I
Well,
think I have like 5 vinyls from Nip.
sweet. A couple of my close homeboys that I grew up with, they went to Hamilton with him.
Mm,
Um, and we used to be at the Magic Shears all the time on Crenshaw and Slauson. And
right.
this is before the marathon even started. Like, this is in the t-shirt shop days. And he used to be there, and they would always talk to him. I never knew him, I never spoke to him, but like I would always see him there every time. It was tight to see him, come up and do his thing. That's dope.
Yeah.
Um, moving on, the culture is currently questioning itself, of course, and by that I mean we're having that conversation again of the death of hip hop. What are the thoughts of one young Entry?
concerning the death of hip hop.
Yeah, and why people are talking about that again, and just what are your thoughts on it?
You know, in full transparency, man, I want to say hip hop, the golden age of hip hop died a long time ago.
Oh
And,
yeah, I mean, well,
and
let's not say it died; it just moved on. The era ended.
right. So what I will say is right now we going through a, like, if you're looking at the underground, we're going through a hardcore renaissance era, and that's what we need to focus on. We need to stop trying to catch lightning in the bottle again, and focus on making a new standard, and some real futuristic type of sounds. You know, we got to really embrace that, and if we have to adjust the sound to something a little more, 20 years from now, something a little more modern but still keeping the integrity of hip hop, then that's the way it's got to go, man. Hip hop is only gonna die if we allow it to.
Straight up and down, well said. Coming from a true MC like yourself. And in that same vein, you're doing that. Thank you, sir. That's what we need. That's why we're having this conversation right
Absolutely, my brother.
now. Salute to you. In that same vein, your latest project, Throwaway Burners Volume 3,
Yeah.
is of course, the third in a trilogy. Break down the arc of the series.
Yeah, no. So throwaway volume 3, man. I really just wanted to give a balanced project, almost like borderline an album level type of project, right? Had a couple big features on here. Southside Hoodlum, Heem from Black Soprano Family, Benny's Camp. And we definitely came with it, man. Shout out to Sig Burner too from Salt Lake City. And I, in all honesty, man, I wanted to do a 5-tier series when it came to Throwaway Burners 3, because my first gun ever was a 38 special in my teenage years. So I wanted to do 5 to represent the, revolver, the shots in a revolver. You know what I mean? But after the third one, I don't know, man. I may consider closing it out with the trilogy. Just keeping it classic, and doing that, and then kind of moving into something else. But Throwaway Burners 3, man, that's definitely something that I've been wanting to do for my whole career, basically. And I'm glad that I was able to kind of top that throw the motherfucking cherry on top with the volume 3.
I believe you did. It's a great project. First of all, in my eyes, can you compare or contrast a couple of my favorite tracks from it?
Yeah, some of my personal favorites, Bleeding Out. I know at that time, it's the last record on the whole tape, actually. Bleeding Out is probably one of my favorites, because I didn't give a fuck about song structure. My cousin just died. I had a lot I was dealing with, and I just literally just left it in the studio. You feel me? Like, it's not something you really could talk about with anybody, even personal friends. You just leave it in the lab, and leave your piece there. You know what I'm saying? Another joint that I really really fuck with is Dillinger. Dillinger. It was produced by Merv Russell, and I just kind of was experimenting on that record. I was definitely experimenting, and that's something that I feel like MCs should do more often, not just sticking to the regular just 1-2. We need to be more versatile, and focus on that, man.
That's what I was getting at when I was talking about, you experiment with different styles and stuff, and you're absolutely correct. Tell me a little bit about One Gun.
Oh yeah, One Gun. It's featuring Nick Cruz. It's a dope record. It was produced by my homie Q to God from Denver, Colorado. And yeah, man, it's like kind of like a boom bap style, but we added some eights on there to give it that extra slap. And I just wanted to showcase some lyricism, man. And the homie came through with the Spanglish on the second verse,
Yep.
and we weren't fucking around.
We love it. C4 Crew.
C4 Crew, exactly what it sounds, man. Picture like a heist on some cinematic type shit. I had the homie Drip Don De Niro, who's a part of my double MRS Regime Squad collective. He went in there, he crashed shit. And then of course IQ, who's another basically MC out of San Antonio, who is fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? He's dope as fuck. He crushed that shit too, man. It was really on some like kind of cypher vibes, and that's the way I wanted to keep that.
That's tight. Honestly, C4 Crew is probably my favorite on the track. That's on the album. That's that real shit. Again, thank you, and
Yes, sir.
keep going. I heard that you were going to go to Houston to attempt to set the world record to eat the most trill burgers. Is that true?
I might fuck around and have to do that, man. Once I come
Yeah,
back from LA, I might have to take a trip to Houston. You know what I'm saying?
you
And
got
and,
to
and do that.
set the trill burger challenge. You got to go eat like 50 of them,
God
and
damn.
and then challenge anybody to step
Hey
up.
man, I don't know if I'll be able to throw down 50 of them bitches, but I'll go down trying. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Bun B, man.
Thanks.
Okay. Moving on. I heard that you were the I Declare War champion.
The I Declare War champion.
Yep, is that
That,
true?
that's a fucking fact.
You want to play right now? I got a deck of cards. You want to play? Come
Oh
on,
shit.
we're gonna play. Let me shuffle right now. I challenge you. Yep. Cut 'em. We got your stack. We got my stack.
Let's run it.
Who's going first?
Go ahead.
Ooh, straight out the bat. What you got here?
Okay.
Oh no! Oh my God! One for me. Here we go. Oh, we're looking good here.
I'm starting to think this game is rigged. Hold on, brother.
Your 4 diamonds. Oh man, I don't know. That's another one for me. Intrigue. Oh, we Jack of Hearts. We're looking good here.
Oh yeah.
6.
Come on, fam. Hey, this is rigged.
Oh my God! Hold up. You know, it's 5-0 is out. 5-0, and that's game. Oh, what do we have here? The Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
Versus the 2 of Clubs.
Yeah.
You are 1 away from total loss.
Fuck.
What do we got here? Oh, the Queen of Hearts.
Right.
Versus the 8 of Clubs. Entry.
God
I'm
damn
sorry. I can't believe the legend.
Yeah, no, hey, I don't blame you, brother. You crushed me on that one. But, hey, I got you next time. I do.
Try again next time.
I got you
is
next
what
time.
you mean, Nah, but so what's up next for urban for the urban regime and Entry?
Absolutely. So what's coming next, man? Really, we're focusing on Lyricist Lounge 2. And then I'm doing a whole tape with a producer from San Antonio named Nicodemus. And I'm also doing a whole tape with a producer from Portland named Trox. I don't know if you ever heard of Trox, but he got some good work with a lot of people. He got like some production with 50. He got some shit with a bunch of different artists, man. He's dope.
Chances are I've heard some of it. I just I hear a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. I'll definitely send you some of that too. But yeah, bro. So that's really what I got lined up for the foreseeable future. I am working on some other things, but I don't really want to speak too soon on that until it's like kind of the framework is laid down for that.
That's what's up, man. I'm trying to wrap up here, man, because we've been on for a minute, and I got to get to this memorial for Harambe the Gorilla.
Got you.
Never forget, yo.
Never.
Where can the people hear your music?
Absolutely. You can tap in with me. You could go to entry.bandcamp.com. If you're trying to hear all my previous mixtapes, you could definitely tap in there, hear like the beginning of my career. You can find me on all platforms under the name Intre. That's INTRE. Fuck with me on X, at official Entry, and my Instagram, of course, is at Intriago.
That's what's up. Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you want to tell the current and future fans?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. If you really into some hardcore hip hop shit, look no further. You know what I'm saying? I definitely come with that every time. I don't take one bar off ever, and I always make sure the production is on par. So if you're really looking for a new artist to tap in with, fuck with me.
Can't shake the spoon on bars, and that's what we got. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Entry. And that's what we got. Everybody out there, tap in with Entry, or we gonna get in your car and mess up your seat settings and reprogram your radio. You heard?
Might just take the V.
Exactly. But follow Intriago at Intriago on all platforms. Thank you again, champion. Follow me at Frank 5D, writer, photographer, all that fly shit people adore here for the rap scene. Positive energy activates, constant elevation.